Hello everyone and welcome back to the adventure. So on today's episode, I'm going to go over some of the modifications and the upgrades that we've done to our 21 F150 Overland build. And the first one I want to start with is the Heritage Studios Quattro pod lights. I did a small little review on these things, well, I should say an overview. My 1 year review of these things, they're fantastic. I've heard people complain about the price, but you're really getting what you pay for, and what you're paying for is more product and less name. I've used them a lot out in the woods. Hunting season's coming up and I'm going to be using them a lot more. They have my stamp of approval. Now, the coating on these things has been wearing off. I actually had a chance to talk to the guys from Heritage Studio, the sales manager and stuff like that. They actually had a problem with the anodizing, the company that did the anodizing. They said, contact us, get the slip, send them in, we'll get you some new ones sent out. I'm not too worried about it. I kind of like the, the raw metal look more than the black look. But if I ever have that problem about the actual color of it, I'll just, spray paint them or cover them in Flex Seal. Now I got these mounted to the truck with a set of Low Pro, SDHQ Low Pro mounts. These things are steel construction. They're solid as a rock. They mount to the hood hinge and the side of the fender. These things aren't going anywhere. They're fantastic. No complaints about these, and I actually really recommend Heritage Studio. I'd love to do more work with them in the future, especially as we build the channel and we get a little bit more in there. Product reviews, beating the products up, so on and so forth. But if you guys are looking for some lights for your vehicle, check out Heritage Studio. At least give them a thought, do some research. These guys, 2,900 lumens. They've got 4 beams set up where it's two of the LEDs are for spot and the other 2 are for flood. So they give you a pretty good beam spread. I'll throw a picture up so you guys can see. Yeah, moving on. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the 23-0 180 degree peregrine awning. This thing has already proven itself time and time again, and we've only had it for, oh God, whenever the, it's like July, something like that. The Overland Expo in Redmond, Oregon. That's where we picked this thing up, straight from 23-0. Thoroughly impressed with this thing. It's got the LST technology, the light suppression, or it has the LST on it, which is light suppression technology. It's a fantastic little piece of kit. They sell wall kits for it, which I'm going to be getting in the future. I don't think I'll get them with the LST, just because I want to let a little bit of like transmittable light or ambient light through them. I don't want to make like a full blacked out setup. Tons of companies out there. Iron Man, Rome, they all kind of come from the same area. Or not the same area, but the same concept, materials and whatnot. I think Rome's located in California, I'm not sure. But solid piece of kit and I recommend it. I got them mounted, or I have it mounted to a Prinsu rack. The CBI Prinsu are pretty much, they're not industry standard, but they're well known in the industry, and a lot of what you'll see are Prinsu racks. The reason I went with it was just the modularity of it. There's a lot of stuff out there that just kind of bolts right to it. You can go and get carriage bolts and mount anything to it. So as long as you got carriage bolts, you're good to go, and you can mount whatever you want to it. So that's just, it kind of works for me. So the universal nature of it. Staying with the front of the truck, they have a set of BFG KO2s, and they're wrapping a fuel shock bronze. These are 18 by 9. I love the wheels. They go great with the color combination that we've got set up. I love the color, and I love the styling. It's simple. These things are easy to wash. There's not a lot of nooks and crannies. They're pretty straightforward. When we get the bumper, we get the lift kit, I'm going to be actually wrapping them in a 35 instead of a 32, just for that little bit extra ground clearance. I was thinking about going with the Warren Ascent as far as the bumper goes, but we'll go from there. Probably the most recent addition, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but I wrapped the hood, just this little section right here. I could add something. I think it just kind of changes the look of it. Kind of messed up with some of the Cutlass tape right here. It snapped and I kind of had to fish it out. Taking a look up top, starting off, we went with the Prinsu roof rack. The name speaks for itself, their quality. I went with it low profile. Tons of mounting solutions out there. The Overland Truckster is actually the guys that helped me install this. Drilling holes in the top of my truck was not something that I felt comfortable doing on my own. And so, yeah, I had them help me with it. It's absolutely nerve-wracking what you got to do. Drilling holes in your roof is just kind of a gut punch. Ford, I wish they set something up for roof racks. I really do. But I'll touch on that a little bit later on in the video. Now, for my storage needs, I went with the Rome Adventure Co. 95-liter storage box. Quick little side note, I misplaced the drain plug. I called them and emailed them. They got on Friday. They got back to me Monday saying, hey, we'll get you a drain plug, no problem. As far as I'm concerned, Rome's got fantastic customer service. They were out at the Overland Expo in Redmond, Oregon, and they actually had the Land Cruiser out there from the Overland truck store. A bunch of stuff on it. It looked fantastic. Kyle, man, you guys did a beautiful job on that rig. I went with their mounting brackets for the storage box simply because I don't want to drill holes in my box. I just don't want to. It's a dry storage box. Drilling holes in it completely neutralizes that aspect of the storage box. These right here, as pricey as they are, I like it because I can, bug juice, gross. I can mount the box in here, latch the box on, close the latch on it, and then put a lock through it, and I can leave my storage box on top of the truck when I stop at hotels for the night when I'm on my way to my destination. I don't have to keep lugging that thing on and off the truck, packing the shit in and out of it because it's too heavy. This right here is just the perfect option for me. I've got 3 kids and a wife, and we carry a lot of stuff when we go places. So as far as it goes, these things right here are damn near bomb proof. Got to do a little bit of tightening up. I feel like I need longer bolts because they're not quite going through. But these things are fantastic. Rome just makes quality products. And I'll probably be buying more of their stuff in the future. A lot of this stuff's pretty straightforward. I recommend it. I'll do a whole separate thing on these and the box in a later video. Just wanted to give you guys an overview, as I said before. That out of the way, let's move on. For the light switch, we went with the Switch Pro 9100 switch, the 8-channel switch. It works for me. I know there's other companies out there. The only thing that I would fix about the Switch Pro would be the app. The user interface on the app definitely needs some work. It definitely needs some updating. There's some connection issues. But, you know, if you don't need the app, you know, just turn the lights on. I mean, you use the app to switch the color and program and everything else like that. But technically, once everything's set up, you don't need the app. So it's really not that big of a game changer for me. Moving on to the back, in our latest edition is the ARE Overland cap. I've been waiting about 3 months for this thing, and I got it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And I absolutely love this thing. Being here, it rains a lot. Or I shouldn't say a lot, but frequently. And when it does, it's nice to have your stuff be dry. I could have gone with a rolling top or some sort of like the Diamondback folding cover, like a bed cover. But I wanted to be able to have vertical packing space. It's my wife and my kids, and we have a lot of stuff, and I don't want to have to be confined to a height restriction with a bed cover. So I went with canopy. I went with this particular canopy, one, because I like the way it looks. I like that they got it rhino lined, so it's got that, it just kind of breaks up that whole, yeah, it doesn't make it look so much like an SUV. But the coolest part about this for me is the wind doors. And I love these things, and I play with them a whole bunch. And when you guys see what I've got planned for the build, you'll see where these come into play and why they make so much sense. As far as the canopy, camper, cap, whatever you want to call it, as far as that goes, this thing's solid. Great construction. I got it carpeted. There's some LED strips that I got installed. It's got a LED light up there, so there's plenty of light in this thing. It's got wind doors on both sides. Another thing that I liked about it, the leer that I had on my other one, these were spring assisted. So like if you turned it and it didn't go all the way, it snapped back. These ones, you can just turn them, leave them, open it, or turn them and it's closed. It's got gas struts, you know, sliding windows screened out. So you're pretty standard canopy stuff. But it's just having those wind doors is fantastic. ARE has a lot of options for setting up their caps. Definitely give them a look. ARE is my go-to brand for truck caps from now on. Lear makes a quality product, but I just kind of like ARE. Yeah, that's just where I'm going to be going from now on. They've got tons of great features, sliding window and whatnot. That glass you can actually get to tip, forward and let in more air. That about wraps up this video, you guys. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you get notified every time I post new content. Do me a huge favor, hit that thumbs up and share the video as much as possible. I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys have any comments or questions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section down below. I'll try to link to all the parts and everything else like that so you guys can see if there's anything you're interested in. But until the next one, you guys, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you around.